Hello. When I was asking yesterday what virtue was in sitting in your hole in a cave for 3 years, I genuinely wanted to fucking know. What virtue is sitting on your hole in a cave for that amount of time? And a chap that had engaged in some of these experiences, like the 20-day retreats and this retreat in Thailand and that retreat and everything else, I did ask him what virtue is in sitting in your hole in a cave for 3 years, because he was after engaging in this practice of 20 days and not speaking, sitting on your ass with no speaking. Now, I do like the other woman's thing about the whole thing about the voluntary suffering, like, why do some people run marathons? And yes, voluntary. We practice a bit of that in the Stoicism as well, the voluntary discomfort. But that's because the worst thing you could be is too soft. Because if you're too soft, no matter what sort of suffering you subject yourself to, as I said again, I reiterate this again, it changes your relationship with pain and suffering. The objective is not to alleviate the suffering, because if you look at the Buddhists, there seems to be a bit of a misconception like that. It's all about alleviating suffering, but they suffer more from children in their training. Just watch the Shaolin monks, their training. Sure, they go through more suffering than fucking anybody, physically and mentally. But it's about they adapt and overcome to like they nearly suffer so much that well, the thing is they don't seem to come out of temple that much. So I can't see what's the point in suffering if you're not really going to come out of fucking temple and engage in life. You know what I mean? Like, that's escapism as far as I'm concerned. Like it's like that same woman said to me. We agreed on one thing. She said she has the experience from the meditation. Now I don't really meditate because I couldn't be bothered my arse. I've better things to do. And I don't have any need either, because like I am present. Like I'm present all day. I can spend as I said to someone before, you can meditate while you're mowing the grass. I can disappear into my inner citadel here at any given time. I must spend half the night I spend. I'm awake from about 2 o'clock on, and that's meditation, because I'm in my inner citadel, and it doesn't matter whether I'm sitting with my fingers touching or anything else, or lying in the fucking bed. It doesn't matter. I'm in the same place. Believe me, I'm in the same place. But as she said, if you look at the junkie sitting on the street who's like this, after a shot of heroin or anything like that, he's in the very same place, or she is in the very same place. They're in the very same place. They're not there. As she said, we both agree on this, they're not there. And then it comes back again to the concept of I. If they are not there, where are they? What are they? You know what I mean? What are they? What is the body? Where are they? And then we come back to what are you? What are you? And then we come back to a number of things, to the whole thing of thinking for yourself and asking yourself, what am I? What is my concept of I? What is my concept of I? If you're not there after a shot of heroin, where are you? What are you? If you're not there. Well, really, what does the heroin do, or what does any drugs do when they break down the default mode network, which is the same as what meditation does over a period of time? If you spend enough time doing it, it breaks down the default mode network. You lose the illusion of self, you lose the illusion. Anyone who ever went to a good rave will know what losing the illusion of self means. You're one with everything. You're a great big fuck off love buzz. But of course, people who haven't had the courage to take drugs wouldn't have this experience, so they can't relate, can they? They just impose their morality. Yeah. So in looking to understand why they sit on their hole for 3 years, what they're doing is they're trying to reach a state of nirvana. Now this is a very interesting concept, because I have to ask myself, and of course I ask my own soul, what is this state of nirvana? And I have to try and put it in a stage, in a thing that I can conceptualize it, that it would be the same as what we call in Stoicism, we call it eudaimonia. Eudaimonia, which is a general feeling of fucking, like there was a lad saying to me the other day, have you got money if you get sick? I said, no. Have you got money to go to the dentist? No. Have you any money? No. But I'm extremely happy. Like, I'm happy every day. And he even admitted, yeah, I see that. I see you're happy every day. And I'm absolutely, Genuinely, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your arse. I genuinely laugh and joke all day and fucking enjoy every fucking day. Even some of the heavy thinking, but I enjoy that because without that, like, that's what keeps me happy. That gives me a great sense of purpose. Just keeps me present, as I say. But at the same time, the past, you see, there's loads of misconceptions because we live in a paradoxical universe because the past and the future impact greatly on our present because this is about making the unconscious conscious because I was in the bed last night and I was thinking to myself as a result of conceptual experience that happened here yesterday evening. Actually happened yesterday twice, but I'm not going to tell you what that is because it's none of your business. But I actually came to a conclusion last night, the realization, and this is what making the unconscious conscious means. It means thinking about your conceptual experiences and thinking like your desires and aversions, and why. I remember saying to myself, why would I desire one thing over another? Why would I desire one thing over another? Why would I fear one thing over another? But I'm going to tell you two short stories. Number one, I remember being in China in 2006. Yeah, because I was in it. I think it was 2006 because I was in Chengdu when the earthquake struck, and that was an amazing experience. That's one not everybody has, but that was an amazing experience. I was in a museum in Chengdu when the earthquake struck. So over and about maybe a minute and a half, 2 minutes maybe, yeah. But when it came out, the whole place was in shite, and you just see all the glass. Anyway, it's not about the earthquake. But I've only realised last night in making the unconscious conscious how much that trip was actually affecting my choices. Not in every present moment, but it's certain, like, it was affecting a lot of choices that I'm making in life. It was impacting greatly on my projections and perceptions of life, but basically my projections and my desires. Even though you might think to yourself, I have no desires, but it's not even desires. It's not even that I want anything, because I can genuinely say I don't want anything. And this sounds very strange coming from a man who's striving for a goal. I can look at the building empire. But this is the same. We live in a paradoxical universe. I'm going to tell you this again. We live in a paradoxical universe. It's like saying I exist and I don't exist simultaneously. But then you see, it comes back to the concept of I, because I could say to myself, well, I don't want this, he wants this. But we're only doing it together, but it wasn't my fucking, I'll explain it to you again. But anyway, I just want to say how much this was impacting on this experience, because it was such a pleasurable experience. And I found the Asian people so, particularly, like I remember one Asian girl, maybe actually all the Asian girls, but their vibration was so calming. Their vibration, their energy was so calming that you could sit there all day. Like you could just like I'd have trouble relaxing, but yet, this is alchemy. But when you put me in this energy, when you put me in the middle of this energy, I remember I went on a cruise down the Yangtze River. Now, normally I'd be bored off my tit on a cruise. I'd be bored off my ditty on a cruise. I would have to be getting off my head, or I'd have to do something. But no, because the energy was so relaxing and so calming. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm sure I had an impact in their lives too, because I remember one little one said to me, you drink too much whiskey, you know what I mean? She actually brought me the last of the Jack Daniels and said, you drink too much whiskey. And I said, I probably fucking do. I probably fucking do drink too much whiskey, but I'd say she was carting it to me all night, but still she had an energy that was very, very. And then I met a little Japanese one after this again, which compounded this idea of this very, 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 very calm and energy. And it's this, as I say, is alchemy. But at the same time, then Carl Jung said, like, that we can have a perception, we have a projection of our ideal mate, and we project it onto people. But this is not quite true, because I met girls who are absolutely as crazy as I am, and I absolutely love their energy, but I got so roasted that relationship was impacting on my choices and on my experiences. And then you have to be able to take these conceptual experiences and actually make them conscious. How are they impacting on my life? Like last night was the first realization of how much that cruise was actually impacting on my life, on my choices now. And this is conditional. And once you make this realization of how this is impacting on your life, then you can change it and you can use reason. And only then can you use reason. This is making the unconscious conscious. But this is a lot of work. This is contemplating every conceptual experience. This is thinking for yourself. But I'm after digressing from where I wanted to go. Because basically now what I'm saying to you is that the boys are sitting on their arse looking to achieve enlightenment and eudaimonia, but we'd have to break down that term. But basically, like, what the Buddha said, which was five centuries BC, what the Buddha said, this is not a doctrine, this is a philosophy. And the whole point of philosophy is you think for your fucking self. You think for yourself. And the Buddha insisted on this, think for yourself. This is how I arrived at enlightenment, is thinking for myself. What am I? Who am I? What is this experience? And what he actually found was, by thinking for himself, he could break away from the Suma Astra, whatever you fucking call it. I did study about Buddhism, but it was a lot of Alan Watts, and Alan Watts was great. I will tell you that. Alan Watts was great. But he doesn't go deep enough either, but he's a good start now. And Alan Watts is a very good start. Because when you're coming from a certain level of perception, but you have to go beyond this. You have to go beyond Alan Watts. Stay digging. And, stay seeking to understand, and you just stay going down the rabbit hole. Don't plateau. And me asking, why are the boys sitting on their arse? This is seeking to understand, and I am genuinely seeking to understand, which meant that I went back last night and started digging, and I started even do my own in the bed last night, started asking my own soul, what's with the boys sitting on their arse? And it told me, and he told me. And so what it is they're trying to they're trying to break out of this repetitive cycle. And then it made sense to me, because Seneca used to say, every day is your birthday. And now that makes sense to me, that every day is your birthday, every day is a new birthday. But that's another paradox, because you still can't escape the fact that you're not only a culmination of your conceptual experiences, you're a culmination of your ancestors' conceptual experiences. And you have to factor this in. Again, another paradox. You have to factor this in making your own choices and in actually thinking for yourself. You have to factor this shit in. But the thing is that the Buddha was trying to say is that when you start thinking for yourself and you start breaking out from the matrix, break out from the fucking matrix, and this is what the meditation is all about. It's about breaking out from the matrix, but actually existing and not existing simultaneously. And that's hard for people to understand, but it's about existing and not existing simultaneously. And I know exactly what he's talking about, but these fuckers don't. Because what they're trying to do is it's like the gold rush. They're trying to I found gold. Oh, where did you find the gold? In that river. Oh, let's all go and dig in that river. Let's all find gold. I want what you have. Mate, this is desires, and this is what's causing you to be trapped and miserable. I remember one film I was watching where he found a great big gold nugget, and then your man killed him for the gold nugget. So the gold nugget was actually the end of his life, and then it was the end of your man's life, and then eventually some fucker fell out of a boat with the big gold nugget and drowned at the bottom of the river. But this is greed, just this, like the sirens of Odessa. This is your desires, this greed, this clinging, these attachments, but you don't understand the fucking things. And the reason you don't understand the fucking things is because they're doing with Buddhism what with Stoicism, what they've done with Buddhism since 5th century BC. Even though they say it's a philosophy, and my soul says Buddhism is philosophy, and God said Buddhism is philosophy, they have made it a religion. Now, you can dispute and say it's still a doctrine, but they've made a religion and are trying to do the same with Stoicism, but I haven't had time to explain it now. But look at Robert Greene, 47 Rules of Power. 47 rules my arse. Good luck.